All right, what's going on, you guys? Navy Vet 88 here with another video. This video right here is going to be a requested video. I've done a video similar to this in the past, actually. I'm not sure which video, so if you kind of go back and back, you'll probably find it. But this video was actually requested about my EDC carry, what I carry on a regular basis. I can't say that when I did do the last video about this, some things did kind of change up. I think from the weapon to the knife to flashlight, like I really think a lot of things have changed from that first video. It's been a minute since I actually watched that video myself, so I really couldn't tell you exactly what it was that was there. So if you go and look back, you'll be able to find that video. I just know for a fact that a lot of the things that you will see now aren't in that old video. So starting off, the pistol that I run with is a Glock, of course, because I always run Glock, whether it's a full-size Glock or a micro or a subcompact, what have you. I always run Glock. It's nothing that I have against any other firearms, because I've had FNs, I had CZs, I've had SIGs, but for some reason Glock just works best when it comes to what it is that I need, as far as making sure that I have a firearm that doesn't kind of operate in a different type of way than the other firearm, especially if you train a lot, of course. But the last thing I would want to happen is that I'm using a firearm that isn't normally what I might carry. Maybe I wanted to change it up one day, and now I have to worry about the functioning of the firearm and pretty much the nomenclature, where certain parts at, like your slide release, mag release, how to put it back in battery and all of those things, whether it's a hammer or, internal striker. All of those things actually do play a significant part in carrying a EDC when you're constantly switching up between different type of firearms. So for me, like I said, I like to run Glocks. So every time you see me with a EDC pistol, it's going to be a Glock. All right, so starting off, we have our Glock 49, as you can see right here, chambered in 9mm. This is a Surefire X300 weapon light. We have the AmeriGlow suppressor height sights, which are blacked out. And then we have an AmeriGlow red dot on top, goon tape wrapped around the handle. This weapon is clear, although it is rounds in the actual magazine. And I'll pretty much bring it back here, lock the slide back, as you can see. Weapon is clear. And I put that back forward, drop that hammer down. But yeah, this is pretty much my EDC for right now. Now I do switch it up in between this 49 and also my Glock 19. Now I might carry the 43 here and there, but for the most part, I'm carrying either my 49 or I'm carrying my 19. I go with the 49 because of the grip. I didn't want something that was outlandishly long when it came to the actual grip aspect. So the 49 worked best for me because it still has the size, length, and width of a Glock 19. When I'm coming here and I'm getting my purchase, as you can see right here, the magwell opening right here is pretty much flush with the bottom of my hand. And I like that because I appendix carry. So when you appendix carry, you want to have at the least amount of distance or the least amount of length when it comes to your grip length, or should I say your pistol grip length. So that helps it to be a little bit more concealable. But if I had a 17, of course, it'll stick out a little bit more and it might make it print a little bit more, even though I'm running a solid holster. It's just what it is. Some stuff you just can't hide. And I also wanted something that was a little bit longer when it comes to the barrel length. So that's what the 49 is really, what it really does well, because it has the slide length of a Glock 17. And I'm a big fan of the Glock 17, and I used to run a Gen 5 Glock 17 MOS, but I don't run it anymore. But for me, this was like the perfect mesh in between the 19 and the 17, and that's why I love this pistol so much, and that's why I carry it as my EDC pistol. As you can see right here, we have some goon tape wrapped around, nothing special. I actually just got this goon tape in a 3-pack with, like, one was this tan color, another was black, and then I think another one was kind of like this digicam army fatigue type of thing. So it was pretty cool. But I like it. I always enjoy having goon tape on all of my firearms. So any video of mine that you've seen goon tape on pretty much everything, from keeping light switches and cables down to pretty much just for grip purpose. If you haven't tried them out, go check them out. Get you some. You'll thank me later. All right, so next we have our T-Rex arm sidecar holster. This is what I actually appendix carry. So as you can see, you have the claw in the side, which pretty much presses up against your belt. and it helps it to keep it pretty much pointing in. This is how I carry it, like this. And like I said, I carry it appendix style directly in front of me. It conceals very well. And of course, like I said, having that length is a vital part when you're trying to keep it as concealed as possible. So going with this 19, something that has a 19 length when it comes to the pistol grip is, you know, it's self-explanatory. Like I said, once you put it in, you have something longer, it'll definitely print more, and this definitely helps with the printing. All right, next up we have our mags. So right here is our standard 15 round mag, as you can see. And then this is my spare mag with the Strike Industries base plate, which you've seen before, of course. It's a +4 magazine extension. And then of course, also we have the Neo clip on it. I actually want to get another Neo clip. This one has like the one magnet, and it pretty much magnetizes onto your magazine, especially if you have rounds in it and things of that nature. But they do make another one that has, I want to say, 2 magnets, and I think this one's just kind of worn out over time. I've had it for a few years, and I think just over time the magnet is starting to just like wear itself out. So I'm definitely looking into getting another magnet. But like I said, spare magazine. It's discreet. You put it in your pocket, nobody knows it. Keep it to where you can index it. So if I reach into my pocket like this, I reach down with my index finger, I'll pull it out like that, and then I can just pretty much index it right into the mag well. All right, next up, just pretty much our card holder by Ralph Lauren. I had it for a long time. Don't remember when I got it. I think I was out of town on a trip or something like that, Tennessee or somewhere. But anywhere, I was one of the polo outlets and got it. It's pretty cool. Been holding up for a few years, as a matter of fact. Genuine leather, never had any issues with it. Try to keep the bulkiness of having a really thick wallet in my pocket, because I used to, and it used to hurt my back when I'm driving. So now I carry this card holder. Problem solved. Because sometimes when I'm out, I might be somewhere where I don't want my wallet in my back pocket, so I put it in my front pocket. But if I had one of those older wallets like I used to have with all the cards and everything in it, it would just stand out so much in my front pocket. But having something like this, some people might think it's a phone, and pretty much, you know, it go unnoticed. All right, next up for our knife, quote unquote, defense secondary type of deal, we have the Cobra Tech. Oh, you can see that right there. So yeah, we have the Cobra Tech OTF knife, as you can see right here. I've had this knife for, it hasn't been a year yet, but I really like it. I like the construction of it. As you can see, the blade right here, nice sharp blade, nice pocket carry handle, pocket clip. Self-explanatory. Having something like this really comes in handy. I think everybody should look into the OTF knives if you haven't. It's a lot of great companies out there that make them, so you should definitely check them out if you get a chance to. Like I said, it's the OTF knife by Cobra Tech. Flip it around so you can see a little bit more. There you go. All right, so if I'm not always able to carry my OTF or my pocket knife, or if I am and I still have room to put something extra like in the little change pocket of my jeans or something like that, then I'll carry this little multi-tool right here, right there. All right, well, I tried to show you the name on it, but I got this pocket knife multi-tool when I was at SHOT Show from a company. They gave it to me. I was sitting there talking to them. We chit-chatted for a while, and they actually gave me this little multi-tool. Now, I have a multi-tool, a couple of them. As a matter of fact, the last time that I went out of town, I think I was going to Vegas, and I had one in my backpack and didn't even realize it, and they threw it out. And well, they didn't throw it out. They told me I can either ship it or I could throw it away. But I was in a rush to get on my plane, so I pretty much was just like, bump it. I just throw it in the trash. And I wish I hadn't, because that plane got delayed and I ended up not even flying out that night, as a matter of fact. So I had to leave and then come back the next day. So I was kind of pissed that I had thrown it away, but it was a Gerber. I really liked it, but I know where I can get them for a good deal at online, so I wasn't really tripping too much about it. But yeah, sometimes I keep this handy. For the most part, I only use it to open up bottles when we're drinking beers. And that's pretty much about it. I mean, there's a screwdriver on there, so if I need it, cool. You know, some scissors, if I need to clip something, cool. But for the most part, we're just using it to open beers, and that's about it. Now, when I have my other pocket knives, like my Gerbers and my Benchmays and stuff like that, then I just use the back end of the knife and pop my bottles open. But all right, next up is our pocket light, or our light source. And it's just a little light that I got from a SHOT Show. Has a little flag. I'm trying to see if you can see that little flag on it. Real discreet, slim, don't take up a lot of space. You can put it in any pocket. Sometimes I might have the Cobra Tech here and I might put it next to it depending on what kind of pants I'm wearing. Or I'll just have it on the opposite side, especially if I'm not carrying a extra spare magazine or something like that. It just depends on how I'm setting everything up on my body or my person. Is pretty much depending on how I'm gonna actually place these certain things. But I do carry a secondary light source. I don't carry it all the time because I do have a light on my firearm. I do have a light on my phone, which I'm using right now, which is the iPhone 14 Pro Max. And then I would have this. So this would actually be like a third option when it comes to a light source. So I really feel like I don't always need it. But, you know, if I know I'm going into a certain, I won't say a certain environment, but if I know I'm leaving like at the later part of the day, then I'm like, okay, cool, bet. I just throw it in there, pop it in my pocket and keep it moving because it's just easier to use. And also if you have a weapon light on your actual firearm, that's always great, but sometimes you don't want to use that light in situations where you have to actually draw your firearm out and try to use it and you're pointing with your gun. Unless you want to just, you know, take your weapon light off, then you can of course use it like that. But I wouldn't want to just be willy-nilly aiming my pistol around just to use it as a light source, especially if there's other people around. Now, if it's just me, then I wouldn't care. If I'm outside, I'm looking for something in the car, then yeah, I'll probably, you know, take a round out, drop the mag, take a round out the chamber, and then I'll point it down and, you know, look for whatever I'm looking for, even if I need to just lay it on the floor to maybe get something between the seats or under the seat or something like that. But as far as having other people around, I wouldn't advise doing that. And then that's when your phone and this actually comes into play. So it's not a super bright light. I'm not sure the candelas or the lumens or anything like that. It's fairly cheap, but it's a light source. I don't need anything that's going to stretch out all these 10, 15, 20 yards and things like that. I just need something to see in a close proximity because that's what this is for. If I need to see something that's that far out, then I have the other option for that with the firearm. And then of course the phone light is pretty good. Phone light is better than this. So if I had to rank them from least to best, it'll pretty much be this, then the phone, then of course the weapon light on the firearm. All right, so next up we have our big lighter, self-explanatory. There you go, lights all the time. Always go get you a good spark. And I use it for my bad habits. So if you got those bad habits where you need a lighter, then sometimes you might want to just, you know, rethink that. But it's always good to have this because you never know when you might have a, you know, a thread or something like that on some clothes that you might need the light. You know, anything, lighting a candle, you name it. Fire is man's best friend, honestly. Best invention we've ever come up with. So having a lighter is always a high priority on the list. All right, so that's it. Cut and dry, simple, straight to the point. I know a lot of you guys probably carry a host of other things. Some people are probably saying, well, where's your Write in the Rain notebook and your Write in the Rain pen, or where's your tourniquet, rat's tourniquet, all of that kind of stuff, you know. And I don't really carry all that, honestly. I used to, but I just kind of got tired of doing it. If you're in a situation, I feel like you can make a tourniquet out of anything if you need to. I mean, I can always tear this shirt down the middle, wrap it around somebody, tighten it down, wrap it around again, tighten it down, booyah, you got your tourniquet just like that. So I feel like you can be, if you have the knowledge and you know how to use your resources, you'll be all right. The next thing that I probably would carry would probably be these headphones. It's like JBL, AirPods, or earplugs, whatever you want to call them. But I carry these sometime when I'm out just because I want to listen to some Sade, or I might want to listen to the clips or something like that. So I just carry them, but not all the time. So I'm not one of those people just walking around with AirPods in their ear. Most time I use them actually is when I'm cutting my grass, and that's like the majority of the time when they get their use. Other than that, I just have them on me just in case. Sometimes, you know, I might go somewhere, walking around like my wife or something, know I'm going somewhere, we're gonna be out for a while, and I might just want to zone out.